What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Norse Arms. My name is Alan, and today we're going to be diving down a rabbit hole. So I hope you have your corkboard, thread, and thumbtacks in place, ready to go to start tying these strings together, because this one gets a little bit weird. So, in my last video, I had said that the age to purchase was 21. This was somewhat false, and when I say somewhat false, there's no actual part of the RCW that states 21 and up for all firearm purchases. 18 to 20 can still, by law, purchase manually operated long guns. That's pump action, lever action, bolt action, brake action, anything other than semi-automatic. You can purchase as a long gun from 18 to 20. Supposedly. This whole mess is why people that don't understand the industry, terminology, or definitions should not be making these laws for us. They really shouldn't. So, let's dive in. 1639, they added a bunch of different things. They added training with 1639, but it wasn't really supposed to be training. It wasn't supposed to be a certification. It was supposed to be the FFL has to tell you this, that, and the other thing, and then you have to get a secondary application. The state decided that instead of doing that, they were just going to say, hey, get this piece of paper. It means that they've passed this. It means that they can purchase this. They're good to go. No other application needed. Why they said that, I have no idea. But semi-automatic rifles were then raised from 18 at the minimum age to 21 for the minimum age of purchase. So, that in and of itself was a whole issue. We're still fighting that one. That's a big freaking mess. House Bill 1143 comes along. House Bill 1143, as an explanation, was an expansion of Initiative 1639. And so a lot of people took it as 21 and up for all firearm purchases, when really all it did from 1639 was take the certification requirement and span it across entire purchases, not just semi-automatic rifles. Okay. This is where it gets a little bit conspiracy theory-ish. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Washington State Patrol, DOL, what have you, are supposed to send out the criteria for the certification course, so that way people that are instructors can offer a course that covers this, and places like Sporting Systems can offer the free online course, that kind of thing. Now, this clip that I got here is from the Sporting Systems one, because I have yet to get my course criteria for this type of class. But in there's a section where they have to tell you a bunch of the federal and local laws and restrictions of purchase. In that, it says, you must be 21 years of age to purchase a semi-automatic rifle, handgun, receivers, or other firearms. Other firearms are like this one. This is the Mossberg Shockwave. It comes in 12, 20, and 410 for gauges, and it's not a long gun, but it's not a pistol. It's just an other firearm. And you have to be 21 to purchase that. Well, you call the Washington State Patrol, they understand it. Most of them, a lot of them, are part of the Second Amendment community, so they understand the terminology. Or if they aren't and they know it, it's because they looked it up. But get a little bit crazy here and a little bit out there, but what are the odds that a legal team is going to call the Washington State Patrol to find out what that means and how it's going to be prosecuted? They're not. They are going to call the opposing legal team, which in this case is the Attorney General's office. Do you see where I'm drawing these lines? So if they call the Attorney General's office and they say, hey, for receivers or other firearms, the 21 age restriction, how are you applying the other firearms? How does that work? I can guarantee somebody that doesn't understand the terminology in the industry straight up said, other firearms, that's all other firearms. You have to be 21 to purchase in Washington State. There were laws where they were trying to get them passed. There were a bunch of different laws where they tried to get that to happen, and it never happened. But when it says other firearms, they assume that means all other firearms. So, essentially, 1639, 18 to 20 can no longer purchase semi-automatic long guns. 1143 expands the certification from 1639 to all firearms. Instructors then get handed down certification courses from the Washington State Patrol for the requirements. Legal teams get a hold of these requirements and ask. They don't understand, the people answering the question don't understand where this all goes, and then it comes back that the FFLs can't sell to anyone under the age of 21, and boom, we have a de facto 18 to 20 year old ban. You can't purchase a firearm by regulation, not by law, because the Attorney General's office essentially said they're going to prosecute anyone that sells to anyone under the age of 21 because of the verbiage from the industry. When you don't understand something, you can't enforce it. When you don't understand the terminology, when you don't understand definitions, how are you supposed to regulate it? How are you supposed to enforce it? When it's got terminology in there that you take as, oh, this is all other firearms. No, this is just a niche of other firearms that don't qualify as long guns or as handguns. They are just an other firearm. That's just kind of where it sits, though, guys. That's what I found. Huge shout out to Buckley Arms for pushing this topic on me. I would not have done this deep of a dive had he not gotten on there and said, no, this is allowed. I called Washington State Patrol. Sure enough, the law doesn't say it, but because of the federal law for other firearms, that whole thing has made it to where we have a de facto ban for 18 to 19-year-olds in Washington State. I told you this was going to get kind of crazy conspiracy theory, but that's where it sits. That's why we have what we have. Guys, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you hit up all the other socials that I'm on. I am on Facebook, I'm on X, Rumble, YouTube, and Trigger Hill. Can't forget Trigger Hill. Like, subscribe, stay safe, stay savage, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.